Won't go see me with ain't gon' see them no more. They love when I talk, they roll by the car lot when bought it. Caught case at the case and a phone. They will watch you give a yeah. I live that they rapping back, catting them back what they capping back. Bankroll mama, we know it did. We cashing out, we bagging that. Stacking up, there's zero. Certified neighborhood hero. You can try one of them. Better not try with me though.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Just a short time ago, this crowd loud enough to shake the foundations of this nearly century-old building. They are ready for football indeed in Chicago as their guys get set to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Returnable here for Davis. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. First carry now for Jordan Howard. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
Let's go. Even.
This is Howard on 2nd down. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. Just a gain of a yard there. Now it'll be 3rd down. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
They'll try to run for it with Howard. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
I apologize in advance, partner, but the beefeaters on the interior of this D-line, you just know they were licking their chops on 3rd and short. And yes, they were rewarded with a tasty dish, stuffing that one short of a first down.
On 4th down, it's Howard. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. On 1st and 10, Winston. Flush to his right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 30. 11 more on that one and another first down. He is tough to bring down, Jameis Winston. Charles, I remember calling a baseball game of his. He played baseball at Florida State, too. And you saw his legs, tree trunks sprayed in to those baseball pants. I said, how could anybody bring this guy down?
And that's part of the beauty.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Daniil Hunter in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. They go play action. Winston. And he's going to go down again. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
3rd and long for Winston. Eluding the pressure right. Dumps that off to his running back, Jordan Howard. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up 4th. They rolled out of the pocket right, and I think he wanted a little something more out of that play. Obviously, instead he hit a safety valve.
It looked like two well-coached teams there, even though there was no yardage gain. Because the offensive guys, they realized their quarterback was out of the pocket. All the receivers went to the right spots, tried to get in his sight line, tried to open themselves up. Just nowhere to go where they could gain yardage. How about the defensive guys, though? Did not lose leverage and kept their poise and made a really nice play.
So the missed 56-yarder, and now the flip side. Good starting field position at the 46 near midfield. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. And the movement there coming from the middle of the line.
And you understand he wants to get off the ball quickly, but the ball's right in front of him. He has to watch it move first.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Cousins. Dancing to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Aaron Lynch in there to drop him for a loss on the play.
Well, we knew coming in it was going to be a long afternoon if they weren't able to hold up against this pass rush, huh?
What we didn't know was that protection was going to spring a leak on the first play from scrimmage.
Got after him right out of the gate.
To throw it is Cousins. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. Murray fighting. Lost the football. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
He'll get it up the middle. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Vikings have taken a first-quarter lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Carlson now to kick this one away. Returnable here for Davis. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can have as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional rounds. Running with Howard. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Viking territory. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis back with you as it's Bears football here to begin quarter number 2. They face a 2nd and 7 to start things out. Winston. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he'll get it down here to the 43. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. They pitch out to Howard. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
This offense converted once on 4th down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They'll run it now out of the gun. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps them pick up the first. They're able to keep the drive alive, 7 yards that time, and the decision to go for it proves to be a good one. Jameis to throw it. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter In there to pick up his second sack now of the afternoon. So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. From the shotgun, it's Winston. Flushed out right. And some room to work. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A nice job of eluding the pressure there, scrambling for 11.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
The Bears on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This time they face a 3rd and 2. To throw, Winston. And he's got Miller. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Anthony Miller with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bears are an extra point away from tying the football game. Parkey adds the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10th. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And the Vikings now heading onto the field. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay. I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position, where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. From the gun, here's Cousins. Forced out to his left. Now he'll let it go deep down the left sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down but couldn't connect.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Buying time to his left. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout. Looks like we've got a Viking slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. Now it's the backup Simeon. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And a nice gain at 21 yards. On 1st down, Simeon steps away to his left. Escapes the defender. That's going to be caught. 23 yards on the play.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a 1st down with a nice throw.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal.
Yellow. We're going. Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Vikings are able to strike for 6. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. Carlson now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
In on the stop there, Andrew Sendejo.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
2 minutes to go here in the first half. We're back to Soldier Field following this short break.
Hey, let's give it some work.
Play action now. Winston under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Bears on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 16. Off the play fake, Winston. And Robinson with a big catch. And he'll be taken down just shy of the 40. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Winston now to throw on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They run with Thomas. 2 spins. And he'll bring this one inside the 35. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Even with him busting through the contact, he'll still be stopped just inside the 35. Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. And they'll go on the ground. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Would have been a decently long field goal, 51 yards from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Rhino! Wide.
Working out of the gun, Cousins to the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Gun.
First down, here's Cousins. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Off the play fake, Cousins. He's going to sling this deep, and that'll be caught by Diggs for a Minnesota touchdown. Stephon Diggs with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. Carlson now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Chicago offense coming back out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
He finds an opening past the 40. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield across the 45. That goes for a gain of 31.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
A first down throw for Winston. Being chased out left. And some room to roam now. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
Now Jameis on second down. Dancing to his and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. And before they can run this third down play, we're going to get a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. Winston finding Gabriel complete. And he's going to get this one down right to the edge of the red zone to the chalk of the 20. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. And Parkey's kick is good. And that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
Parkey now following the made field goal to kick this one off. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they're going to be set up in excellent field position up past the 45. Now the Vikings offense works their way back onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Final play of the half, Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings, taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. Shifts by him. Now he goes spin. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third.
Yellow, yellow. Ready, send there. Yellow, yellow. Yellow, yellow. You're hot. Ready. Go ahead, go ahead.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
Not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Second down, Cousins. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down. Huge article in their local paper this morning saying how the 4 interceptions last week led them to that victory. Here they haven't been able to come up with one, and they're losing. Probably not a coincidence.
I don't think so at all. I think you're spot on, but maybe they put a little extra pressure on themselves because 4 interceptions last week, victory. Right now, no interceptions in this game. Had a chance for one, missed it, and they're losing. Probably feeling the pressure right now.
And the punter's on the sideline. Here's the field goal unit now to try an exceptionally long one. And, folks, this is a 67-yard attempt. And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end. And this score will stay right where it is. So the long field goal misses, and now the reverse. You're in a tough spot defensively. They'll start the drive at the 43. Throwing, Winston. And an alley to run. Give him 10 yards there, and about by the nose of the football, he's going to have a first down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Jameis now on first down. And Winston lost the football. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to wind up and air it out. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
A second down throw for Cousins. Drops it underneath to Thomas. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a gain of 3. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Here's Cousins. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. They'll run it now out of the gun. And only able to muster a couple down to about the 27.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
Forced out to his left. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Cousins looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. He has just been a load for opposing offenses to account for now. 8 interceptions on the year.
I love that number because I always think of center field. You know, when I hear 8, because that's the position you write in the scorecard in baseball. And what do good center fielders do?
Under pressure, they got him again. Emerson Griffin in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. To throw is Winston. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Here's Pat O'Donnell now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Diggs with a good footwork. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Vikings, they'll be set up well as they take over in great field position. 1st and 10. Back to the NFL scoreboard for his 3rd quarter in Indy. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Carlson able to put this one through. So it's not an NFL record, but it's not far off. That'll go in the books as a 61-yard field goal.
And wasn't it weird to see a guy line up for a field goal on the other side of midfield? The ball got halfway there, and you thought, no way is that going to make it, but it just kept carrying and carrying, and he winds up sneaking it right over the bar.
They go with Howard to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Bears on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, Winston. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He may try and run for this. And he slides to avoid the hit. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
Okay, we've seen plenty of games. We've been there before. They thought they had this one over with if they could have stopped them right there on that down. Now they've got to continue to play. That's going to be tough.
That's tough because it was such great coverage. They had them blanketed, especially there in the secondary, but, hey, took off and found a way. A gain of 32 that time. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Second down, Winston. Buying time to his left. Throw left side, taken in by Miller. And he is out of bounds, just a yard or two shy of the 10. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
Jameis to throw it. Steps away to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's Winston. Being chased out left. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a third down.
Well, he's proven real effective running the football. No one open, don't force it. Just get what you can, and that's what he's done very well in this game.
The Bears on third down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Winston. He can run for it, and he will. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
He was able to get away earlier in the drive, but apparently all the time they put in practice finally came to the front, didn't it? They remembered their lessons and found a way to contain him when he took off on that one.
Going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. Room here to run. And able to get it across the 10 to the 15. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to him. 11 yards and a first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On second down, Cousins again, escaping the pressure right. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
The Vikings on third down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 10. Cousins. And that's incomplete.
He's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. We'll call that a 43-yard punt, 2 on the return, and the Bears take over. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time, they had it 4th and goal, rolled the dice, didn't get it. Now they've got to put that behind them, try to put together another drive.
A simple tip of the cap, a nod of the head to the defense. Congratulations, you got us last time, but you didn't hold us the whole time. We got down to position. We were able to be in position to score. Let's go ahead and attack again. Continue to have that kind of confidence, not worry about the one play that didn't allow them to get into the end zone.
And this time they'll be trying to get it into the end zone. We'll see what they do. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Working out of the gun, Winston. Flush to his right. He may try and run for this. And now running right through it. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Over the middle, complete. It's Burton. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball. When you put up a token press, make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Making the stop there, Danielle Hunter.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Now Winston. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And he's able to pick up the first before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they can. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Bears. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. Parkey with the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. After the touchdown we just saw, we have a brand new ball game. And now look at the situation. You've got plenty of time on the clock. Defensively, they have 3 timeouts. So do you run the football here or do you throw it?
I think you have that full conversation with your offensive unit. And you tell them, here's the situation. They've got all their timeouts, so we are not going to play this conservatively. We've got to attack them. We've got to make them use those, gain the ground that we need in order to put this game away. If you think we're just going to run it 3 times and punt it, you've got another thing coming.
Yeah, and by the way, also the 2-minute warning in play, so essentially 4 timeouts left.
They have to be aggressive here.
Cousins now on 2nd down. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. A 1st down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. throwing here. Cousins eluding the pressure right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Cousins the thrower. And Rudolph has it left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Go ahead. Wide. Zebra. Yellow. 59, check, 59. Wait, hard.
Here's Cousins. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be out of bounds down to the 25. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on 4th. Absolutely ideal there. Get a good size play, get out of bounds.
Well, you saw the coaching there. That is taught and it is emphasized. Get out of bounds, understand your situation, as well as just understanding the game.
Cousins here to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
To throw is Cousins. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
Returnable here for Davis. A nice little juke. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Emerson Griffin in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. Now Jameis on 2nd down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Burton. And he's brought down after a good gain. Give him 30 yards there. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. Jameis now on 1st down. Middle of the field, it's Robinson. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. 1st down, Winston. And it's caught. He's got it for a late touchdown, but probably a little too late. It would take a miracle of epic proportions if they're going to pull this one off. Coming from where they were, they knew this was going to be tough, but they got the touchdown. Now they need the miracle, the onside kick and a little extra.
Yeah, and you have to get the onside kick and not have the ball bounce around a lot and eat up time. You want to be able to grab it, possess it, and get your offense out there for what you just termed a miracle last chance.
And this is going to be recovered by the hands team. And that should just about put a capper on this one. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
That one looks like he'll throw here. He's got the connection over the middle to Diggs. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. A very solid gain of 27. Well, I know at points in this when you wanted to close your eyes because of all the points that were being put on the scoreboard. You're a defensive guy, but it was a fun little track meet, wasn't it?
It was, and you know the people who really enjoyed this game? They're the ones that like going to batting practice at the Major League Baseball parks, right? Seeing the 14-11 game, that sort of deal. That's right up their alley with what we saw in this one.
So for Minnesota, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else in their sanity, as they move to 4. Return home next week to take on the Green Bay Packers. Meanwhile, for the Bears, it's a bit of a setback as they drop to 6-4 now. And they'll have a quick turnaround as they're back in action Thursday at noon Eastern for the traditional Thanksgiving Day game in Detroit. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
One in the hand, one in the